Alright, everyone. I'm totally sick of this news cycle, to say the least. It's June 1st, and we have cops murdering people as cops do all too often, and we have overreaction, possibly nefarious elements of the government pushing this overreaction. I don't know where to start, really. I really don't. First, the mainstream news networks constantly mixing, selectively mixing protesters with rioters, because the rioters and the protesters, they could be one and the same people, but they're usually two different people. People protesting want something. They want police reform. People rioting want police action upon themselves. Yeah, it kind of doesn't make sense. A lot of people are poor right now from the shutdown, lack of jobs, COVID 19. So these, protests and riots, and turning into riots, have kind of gone the wrong way. And the whole thing is government intervention. Government intervention into the economy, overactive police states. I don't particularly know what happened to George Floyd or why he was arrested to begin with. No idea. I don't think any reporting has been done on that. And I don't know. I really don't know. The whole thing is kind of disgusting. But just as a registered libertarian, I kind of feel like if my clique was in charge, none of this would be happening. People would have guns, and if somebody came to these businesses, they'd probably be killed, and that happens sometimes. And, the police wouldn't be out doing this shit unless it was necessary, because there wouldn't be as many police. I think the biggest problem is just the police in general. We need general reform. The biggest issue is we have police not acting as peacekeepers. We have police acting as essentially the IRS for states, out harassing people, giving them tickets. Oh, we have technology that scans registration. So if you don't have a registration, it probably means that you're poor. So we have police literally scanning to see if people are poor as they're driving down the fucking road and pulling them over for being poor. And then, let's say you have a warrant, or you got a little bit of pot on you. We're going to give you more fines, more tickets, throw you in jail for an hour, bring you down and book you up and take whatever little money you have because you can't afford a registration, but now you got to afford bail. Yeah, I'm fully supportive of cops when they're being peacekeepers. When they're being tax collectors, I feel like they should be shot in the head. I feel like most of them probably didn't sign up to be tax collectors. I feel like police unions are a huge problem. And if we ended the unions, a lot of this just wouldn't be a problem. Not at all. If they feared losing their jobs, none of this shit would be happening. You couldn't do this shit. And I'm all for private unions, but public unions are another story. Public unions are no bueno, not kosher. But, all these protesters aren't calling for police reform. I guess maybe some of them are. But the voices are drowned out from all the people robbing stores and blaming white people, because all white people are cops who kneel on black people's necks. No, of course they aren't. But it's really funny that, the statistics for police murders are about even to the population disbursement of different ethnic groups. But the other ones never get any playtime because it doesn't grab the headlines. It doesn't grab headlines when a white person gets killed by cops. I've been harassed by cops myself. I have an ex-wife who's a despicable fucking cunt, whose family works for the CTDOT, that sent police to my house when I did nothing wrong and broke into my house and spied on my girlfriend sleeping naked. It was July 1st, 2016. And fucked with me, and I was subsequently arrested for something I didn't do. Why? Because there was a police report filed by a bunch of scumbags looking at you, Officer Hogan, Troop C, Connecticut, and my ex-wife's family members who were involved in the matter. Yes, this is a true story. And I went to court. It actually took me to jail. When I went to court, it was laughable. I talked shit to the prosecutor and called my ex-wife a cunt to the prosecutor. You know what happened eventually? My case got thrown out because they had nothing on me. She was lying and full of shit. The officer wrote a completely false police report. Nothing corroborated, and the prosecutors ended up dropping the case. But it doesn't mean my life wasn't disrupted by these evil, despicable fucking people that leech off every one of our creativity. I'm talking not just in my case, every cop that does this kind of shit. You want to protect the people? You want to do some things I don't really agree with, but you're enforcing the law, without stepping over certain constitutional Bill of Rights boundaries? I'll support you. The problem is, 1 out of 5, maybe I would say 1 out of 5 encounters with the police, even when I'm part of the complainers or the people that have been done something wrong to, have been positive. 1 out of 5. Okay? That's the number. I'm not saying some of the people sitting behind the desks, excuse me, aren't good people. But it seems like we don't put the good people out in the streets because the good people don't collect tax revenue at the rate that bad people do. That's about all. Peace out, everyone.